Calamity, it is your turn. What are you doing? Ha 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 ha. That didn't come through. So often I think people think you just sit in silence when nothing you say comes through.
That's
Probably.
absolutely true. True, yes.
Okay. So I would sheath my swords and walk over to this wall and kind of lean against it and look casual, like I'm ready for a conversation. And I would ask him, was it you by chance that got rid of all of these goblin bodies?
And he turns. No. Do you have any information regarding what happened to them?
I
Oh.
do, but I don't need to divulge all of my secrets.
And the face kind of just stares at you with a smile on it for a second, and there's this very slight nod.
I would smile like, yes, I turned his words against him, being jovial and casual.
I would be fine with Jester coming along with us to see this dangerous goblin.
Well, he said that he didn't see it. I figured he'd probably search this area pretty well.
It is true.
Amos, did
So-
you search the whole area?
You hear a flump as he sits cross-legged and crosses his arms and looks at like this sad face again on his face, and he looks at Emus. I believe you have something of mine.
I do, and I'd be willing to give it back to you if I could get something in return.
And his face flashes to the smile, and he jumps up very quickly and agilely and looks at you and says, I love making deals.
He likes making deals. I'm going to go ahead and in this moment use my Mistra Vision to see if I can get any markings off of him. Any auras.
Okay. Give me 1 second to see how that would look.
Gotta love it.
You see this very intense gold mixed with these greens and yellows and whites, and they're kind of flashing and pulsing and moving around and floating and changing shapes, and they seem there's a dance to it, and it's not entirely chaotic, but it seems pretty, compared to the other auras you've seen, it seems like very fickle and
Now, out of all the colors and patterns I see none that I recognize from earlier encounters.
Yes, you've never seen anyone that has this aura before.
Okay. I'm gonna speak up to the Jester. Well, Mr. Jester, if you can answer a series of questions and answer them truthfully, I think we can make some sort of deal to give you your book back.
What are your terms? He's gonna kind of skip happily over to you.
The terms are has anyone got ideas here? I'm trying to think.
X amount of questions answered truthfully for his book back.
So, like, I asked you if you had seen the goblin. Because I don't know.
And standing like, you're asking Jester this?
No, I asked Emus if if he had seen the goblin. I've definitely asked Jester.
Oh.
He
All
had
right.
said no, yeah.
No, Boogie, I have not seen the goblin. I'm sorry. I'm gonna turn back to the jester. If you can answer 3 riddles correctly, I
You
will
watch
give
as
you
when
your.
you say riddles, he starts kind of bouncing up and down.
If you can answer all 3 riddles correctly, I will give you your book back. And if you do not answer them correctly, I will keep the book. However, that does not mean you do not get your book back. That means you have to answer each of us 5 questions and answer them honestly.
Okay, I agree to your terms of the deal. Now I get to state mine.
All right. What are your terms?
I get to ask a series of questions, and you have to answer truthfully. And if you lie, I get to take your life. And he cocks his head slightly.
This is if you answer the 3 riddles correctly. Correct?
He shakes his head. Right or wrong, I suffer the punishment or not. And then you abide by my side of the agreement.
Wait. Just to clarify, if he wins, if he loses, we get to each ask him 5 questions each, and if he wins, he gets his book back, and we have to answer the questions. And if we lie, he takes our life, right?
No, so basically it's going to be a back and forth. He wants you to ask questions, ask your riddles. He answers if he gets the riddles wrong, he has to answer everyone's questions. And doesn't get his book back. If he gets the riddles right, he gets his book back. Regardless of what happens there, he then gets to ask. He said a series of questions. If you answer them truthfully, he'll be pleased, and nothing is required. But if you lie to him, he gets to take your life.
Okay, what do you
How
guys
many
think?
questions and whose life does he attempt to take? And wait, wait. He's answering riddles for his own book back, and then he wants us to answer questions for a life. That seems not to be a fair exchange.
No. So the exchange is okay.
He
So this is
turns and looks at her. Is it so hard for you to tell the truth?
this is the exchange that that we are proposing. I ask 3 riddles. If he gets all 3 riddles right, he wins. If he wins, he gets his book back, and he gets to ask us 5 questions in total. And if we lie about them, he takes our life. If he loses the riddles, then he does not get his book back, and each of us get to ask him 5 questions apiece.
He's never said a set number. He said a series of questions.
Correct.
Ah. All right. So on that note, Emus is going to reply. How many questions is meant by a series?
And he holds up a hand with his lavender glove and holds up 5 fingers.
So long as the number of questions you get to ask if you win is limited to 1 per each of us.
Why don't we decrease it down to 1 question? I don't have any more questions for him.
I gotta sell them on the deal, right? If I'm like, hey man, if you win this, you get your book back and nothing else. Or if you lose this, we get to take everything from you. Like that's not like how does that win in a balanced discussion? It doesn't. It doesn't. I have to offer him something.
Well, I mean, if instead of 5 for both parties, it decreased down to 1 question. I don't know.
Is it so hard for you all to tell the truth that you're worried about 5 measly questions?
I'm not concerned.
We got a ton of secrets.
That to make a fella quick to not trust you.
Not that I have a hard time telling the truth. I just don't know if I can give the kind of information you may ask about out. We don't know you.
Nor I you. Yet my property you hold.
Well, if you agree, if we can modify the terms that you can each, if you win, you can ask us 1 question each. I agree to your terms.
if I am to suffer such a cripplement, I suppose, and his mask flashes as the dramatic one. He puts his wrist on his forehead. I suppose I will have to forego your riddles.
What do you mean? Do you not feel that's five questions in total? Then, not limited to per person.
Slouches down to the ground again, cross-legged, and starts scratching his head. I'm confused now.
If you win, you can ask us as a group 5 questions in total.
And if you lie, you still die?
Who dies?
Whoever
lies.
lies.
Oh,
I'm agreeable to those terms.
What do you consider a lie? Not saying that I am looking to lie, just if I believe I don't have the information, but maybe memories have been erased
This
by someone in the party.
he like
and-
bends in half, like at his side, looking around Bezoit, and looks at you with that smile face mask on, and just kind of stares at you while you're talking. Ah, you have the most secrets of all. Straightens up.
hmm.
So a lie
But that-
being that as far as we know, we are not telling the truth. But as far as we know, if we're telling the truth, that is the truth. Correct?
I'll get a good sense of things.
Hmm. All right, I'll agree to the terms.
You've got a good sense of things.
He bounces
So
up
if
and
it's
down.
objectively false, but we think it's true, then it's still a lie? That's not fair.
It's already been agreed to. The conditions have been met. And he bounces up and down. Riddles. Give me the riddles.
Right? Emus is kind of. I've been waiting. We use these for a minute. Emus kind of glance around the party. Your first riddle. I have towns without people, forests without trees, and rivers without water. What am I?
And he scratches his chin. I haven't had one of these in a long time. Ah! He stands up. Clever as may be, I figured it out. Map.
All right, very good, very good.
The next? Head tilts again.
What goes into the water red and comes out black?
I suppose. How many answers are you going to accept for this?
The riddle only has one answer.
Could it? Because what if it's a special type of potion? Nevertheless, we'll stick to your mundane mortal expectations of it. It's iron. Next riddle.
That is not the answer I was looking for.
His head tilts. I think turns to the angry face. What else could it be?
You can dunk an iron into water, but that is not the answer. Ames is going to stand triumphantly. That is the incorrect answer.
Don't you have to tell him what it actually is?
Well,
But
yeah, I'm playing it up.
But he's also not wrong.
Unless it specifically has to say, like,
No, he is wrong.
You're telling me when a blacksmith forges iron and sticks it into the pot, it does not go into water red and come out black?
Ah, that is very true. But when you stick an iron, such as the tip of my spear here, into water, it does not go in and does not come out black. So therefore, you are incorrect. Specifically, it had to be a red hot iron. If that was to
Make
be
a
your
wisdom
answer.
saving throw.
Okay. 16 plus 3, 19.
Fails.
How? If you stick iron into water, it does not go in red and doesn't come out. It has to be hot
Hold
iron.
on. That's not what the wisdom saving throw is.
Okay. Sorry, I got
The
excited.
wisdom saving throw is his face is still upset. As you talk, you feel like your mouth is melded together and you can't speak. And he takes a step forward. Are you trying to play me for a fool? And he sits there and waits for a second, goes, "Oh, apologies." And snaps his fingers, and your mouth is back to normal. My bad, got carried away. I feel like you're being a little unfair, he says, and takes a step back.
I'm gonna step away for 2 seconds, guys. I'll be back. Go
Okay,
ahead
we're
and
gonna keep
continue.
going.
Yeah.
So am I able to speak again?
Yeah, he waves it away, almost like, didn't mean to do that, sorry.
Emus is going to kind of stand there, kind of staring him down a little bit, cautiously now. Well, you can take any old iron and stick it into water, and it will not turn black. It specifically has to be hot iron to stick in the water that turns black.
And his mask flashes to the crying one. Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
I mean, 18 plus 2, 20.
He falls to his knees. I feel so cheated by the gods, but if it is be my fate, let it be so. And he like throws his hand back in this dramatic, like arching his back, doing this like theater on stage type deal. Oh well, and he stands up and brushes himself off. Okay, I lost.
What's your name?
He looks over at you. He's the one asking the questions?
Each of
The
us
deal
get
is-
to ask.
Yes, each of us get to ask 5. That was the deal.
You're gonna have to be more specific. I have many.
I want your true name in regards to the Fae.
There's this long pause.
Actually,
And he
wait a minute.
says,
That might be a bit unfair.
No, Andrew, go for it.
That's
Totally
exactly.
fair.
Those are exactly the terms as we laid out, and you would truly know what it would be. But it seems a bit much. Are you a humanoid and not a Fae?
No.
Okay, that's one question from me. Thank you.
I am back.
Are you from around here? Lady Evelina asks. And he tilts his head and thinks for a second. Yes and no are both true. He turns expectantly looking at Emus.
Did he answer all the questions correctly?
We got 5 each. We got a lot to go through still. Emus's first question is this the plane of existence that you call home?
No.
So let me understand this. He failed the riddles, so therefore we each have 5 questions to ask him.
Yep.
And he has to answer truthfully. Although I guess we didn't set any consequence. Oh wait, if he does answer truthfully, then maybe we give him the book?
Or maybe he gets his life.
He turns. You think you could take it?
I smile at him. And I said, "Who do you serve?"
And he holds up one finger indicating your first question. My master, of course.
That was a silly question. What is the name of your master? You got to be specific here.
That's cheating, though, in my opinion.
No, it is absolutely not cheating, and I will fight you on that point. It is absolutely not. Who does he serve? He serves his master. That's an absolutely correct and true statement. That answers the
Okay, and
question.
his riddle about the iron is absolutely true, too.
Ah, but is it? That is
Yeah.
debatable. The answer to his question of who is the name of his or who his master is absolute. Who do you serve? My master. That is absolute. There's nothing.
Okay, but obviously,
He wiggles his second finger and says, less arguing and more asking.
So I would pipe in and ask my first question: is the myth surrounding the mist surrounding Mithranor connected to the Feywild?
Ah, you are not so ordinary a group of travelers, are you?
Is this your first question?
That was the question, Clamacy.
Well, that's fine.
Yes.
He doesn't even get any questions, though.
It's true. He doesn't get any.
Okay.
He shifts back and forth.
Are there any dangers down in this mine? Are there any dangers down here in this mine that we can prevent from harming the villages of the town?
Is there anything down in this mine that we can prevent?
Any from harming the town? Yes.
I guess I don't understand the question. Can you say it one more time?
Mm-hmm. Is there anything down here in this mine that we can do to prevent harming the villages of the town?
And he raises his first finger and says, how does it work if you ask a question in which the answer I do not know? Still counts, no? Also, I would like to renegotiate the deal. I feel cheated that I get no questions. What is in it for me? Why not just leave now?
Why don't answer our questions first, and then we can oh my god, fuck. We can renegotiate.
I get you, renegotiate.
Thank you. Yes.
Renegotiating.
All right. So you have 3 questions from me, and I look around the party. How many questions do we have left from each of you?
If you
4.
left right now, we would know that you went back on your deal. And we might even destroy that book.
His face turns still in the happy face and then switches to a muted, emotionless face and stands up straight. I don't think that's something you want to do.
You can tell me more about that if you like.
I wouldn't. Do I get a question now?
It depends if you want to negotiate. I have 4 questions left for you. How much are my 4 questions worth to you?
How do you still have
Not
4
much.
questions left?
3 left, he says.
Oh, 3 left. You're right. My bad.
Well, no, it'd be 2 now because you just asked a question.
No, it's
Oh,
3.
God.
He had 4 left. Now there's 3 left because he said, "What do they mean to you?"
Kind of cursing to himself. Emus is going to restate.
They're clearly
I
worth
have 3
something to
questions
you.
left. I have 3 questions left to you. Tell me. Ah, fuck. Wow, this is hard. Emus is gonna kind of like stutter in the middle of a sentence, kind of go silent, not really sure what to say next.
I would like to ask you a question, if you don't mind. Ugh!
He he turns and spins.
Yeah, that was right. That was a question.
And he
I
holds
no.
up,
What do you
No,
think I
wasn't
just
it?
said?
If you don't mind.
For?
he holds up 2 fingers.
If you don't.
Yes.
Excuse me. No, I have only asked you 1, and now that made 2, so I still have 3 remaining.
Yeah, he's holding up how many you've already asked.
Oh, my 3rd question to you is: what is the most commonly used name of your master?
Good question. 1 second.
There we go.
And he smiles. Fantastic question. I suppose Queen.
She sounds like a fae.
So, okay. I'm willing to answer 2 questions for you to continue to answer the 5 that I have. Well, 3 that I have left.
Wow,
You're
that's
giving
brave.
him what he already has coming to him in return for.
I thought you guys said that he doesn't have any questions because he lost
Correct.
when I had
Right.
asked, "Is this one of yours?" So he doesn't have anything given to him.
Oh no, the deal was that he had no questions if he lost. Period.
Yeah, but I'm trying to foster a little more trust, not just give.
Okay.
You could learn a thing or 2 from her.
And I will answer honestly to the best of my ability. But I will warn that my memories have been taken. So some answers I may not have.
Who in this world do you hate most?
Eyes raised, I look over her.
I would have to say Martrell Sylvanas.
Silvano. I'm assuming you said it
Silvano.
correctly. I know those.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you.
And he nods his head. Very well.
My question for you: did you arrive here from the mist that surrounds Mithranor?
No. He did that whole too. That wasn't me. It was me, but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Emus can use one of his last 3 remaining questions. He's going to ask, down in this cave with much gore and blood, what was it that you were seeking?
Answers.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and immediately burn my next question. Answers to what question?
Who, why, what, when, where, how? Connected? Correlation?
And I'm going to immediately burn my last question and say, and provide those answers to whom?
And say what?
And provide those answers to whom?
Who I always. And he smiles. You know, maybe if I had my book, I wouldn't feel the need to be so vague. I feel like we're all friends here. And he like waves out, spitting on his bare feet. And he turns, looking at Lady Evelina. Lady of Saloon, please. Would you be a doll and go fetch my shoes for me, please? And she looks at him kind of odd. Uh, um, uh, uh, and he turns on the smile mask and tilts again. Please, my feet are getting quite cold. And she's gonna look kind of odd and confused. Oh, okay. She's gonna start walking off. And he turns to the group. So, where were we? My book, and then we can all be friends.
I would like to know the most common name of the master that you serve that we would know.
I don't believe she has any names you would know.
That's a belief of yours. That's not the truth.
He holds out his hand. If I had my book, I would be able to say.
Immediately following that, I am going to burn my last question. And I'm going to say, is there who is the God that you serve that we would recognize?
I serve no god. I serve only my queen.
And I'm going to look over at Emus and through my ring say, let him have the book so we know who he serves. And then I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, do you have any questions for me?
So many.
Emus is not going to respond.
And he leans in and he whispers through the mask. Where is your god?
I'm going to look thoughtful for a moment. Safe for now.
He sticks his finger out and pops you on the nose. And each time he bobs you, he follows it with lies, 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 lies.
That is not a lie.
And he boops you again. Lies more.
then you know something I don't know. Gesture.
So,
He turns and spins, handing out his hand again for his book.
know your enemy. I would like to know his class and his constitution compared. Or total level and his constitution compared to mine.
DM, can I talk out of his game for a minute?
Sure.
Was he talking about Bahamut or was he talking about Mistra?
He's talking about Bahamut. What's your constitution?
16.
Higher?
Okay, both are higher.
Yes. Wait. Yes.
May I ask a question?
That was a question, Calamacy.
No, but that wasn't like as my character. It was, I don't know if you are trying to do something. Like, may I take my turn? Because I have a question prepped.
She's asking the group, may I ask a question now?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Okay. What is your ranking within the Queen of Fairies court?
And he crouches down, grabs a hold of his knees. His face turns to the crying and starts rocking back and forth. You put that together too quickly. Too quickly. Too quickly. Mistakes have been made. And he's like shaking his head back and forth, shaking his head.
I'm not trying to use information against you. I'm just trying to understand you.
He looks over at Emus. I would feel much more open about speaking openly if we were all friends.
And friends sometimes borrows others' possessions for a temporary time period until it can be returned.
Fantastic! I'd love your bow.
Guys, I need some help here. I really don't want to give him this book back. I don't know what to do.
I
Help
think
me.
you're the only one because I was okay with him getting his book back.
So,
Same.
I think as soon as I hand him his book back, he's going to vanish and we're never going to see him again until it's relevant.
But we're not getting any answers anyways.
But we could have.
So I think it would be neat to show some mercy on him.
Maybe part of the deal saying that he can't use it against us or to escape until we're done talking. You know, something like that.
Okay.
But aren't Fae notoriously mischievous and untrustworthy?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Well, I don't think that they believe in lying. So if you made the deal, they like as long as there's not a loophole that you missed, they stick to that deal.
So, no. If we give him the book, then he would just have to have said 2 lies to leave. As opposed to 1 lie if he leaves now.
What? Where do you get that from?
He said he would answer our questions.
I guess why are you assuming it's going to be a lie?
Because now we have given up all of our leverage.
Correct. But that doesn't mean that he's going to lie. It could mean that he's going to stick around and answer the rest of the questions and then leave. We don't know that. I'm just
I-
afraid of that.
I suppose I would be okay with giving up all of our leverage and then seeing if he answers Bezoid's question. I
Okay,
guess-
out of character talk. I will do it if everyone wants me to. I do not want to do it.
What other idea are you thinking of, other than giving it to him?
Straight up keeping it. Like, what is he gonna do? Attack us? Okay, cool. Now, you did mention the idea of turning it over to him by striking the deal that I will, like, Emus can say, like, I will give you this book back so long as you promise, in exchange for this book, or in exchange of this book that I'm giving you.
So just heads up, as you guys are having this inner conflict, like talking to each other about whether or not to give him the book, Lady Evelina walks up, and Jester is sitting there patiently letting you guys discuss and weigh out the pros and cons of giving them the book, and he's going to appreciatively wave and take the boots and slide them back onto his feet. And you
Right.
notice, like at the bottom of his feet, his toenails are like almost like monstrous. Like they almost kind of like they look like human feet, but then they have like these sharp, almost like tiny talons at the end of them.
All right, I got this. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. So Emus is gonna stand up, or I'm already standing up. Emus is gonna step forward. All right. I will make a deal with you. If I give you this book, you promise to never try to impede us or harm us in the future ever from this point forward.
Unless you give me a reason to.
No,
what sort
that's
of
not
reason
good
would
enough.
be good enough?
Even if we give you a reason. Oh, okay. Oh no, see again, here's the loopholes, right? If you give me reason to, well, what's reason to him? It could be anything. Like if we step on a leaf, oh, you stepped on a leaf, that's reason. You know that like his rules are broken. So
Right
it has
before
to be airtight.
Right before you stepped there, I decided I really liked that leaf.
Exactly. So okay, let me try this.
No. I am a fool, but I would not strike you for one as well. Please. Don't
You must.
expect me to be getting you in any loopholes. And he holds out his hand.
I'm gonna narrow my eyes at him. Fine, I will even lessen the terms. I will agree to give you this book if you promise to never directly attack any of my friends or allies from this point forward.
So long as you and yours do not attack Easgard, Laboria, the Beastlands, the Sealy Court, or Lady Titiana, we are quite well. Now please, my book.
Shall we shake on it first? And Nemus is going to hold out a hand.
Can we get a list of those that you just named? Or
He
can
turns
the
and looks at
DM?
you. Do you plan on going on a war path and leaving those excluded?
No, I just want to make sure that we don't trample on anybody that's friend to you.
Do you make a
Even
habit
by
of trampling
mistake.
in general? I mean, seems a
We
silly
get
question.
attacked a lot.
He steps
And
forward.
as before he touches my hand, Emus is going to pull his hand back quickly. Just one more thing. Once I give you this book, promise that you will leave this place immediately and not bother us while we remain here in these caves.
What about Bezoid's
Well,
question, Emus?
Yeah.
He takes
I
his
had a
hand back and
question
puts it.
too.
He puts it in his pocket. No deal. And he's gonna walk over here and sit down, cross his legs, and start whistling a tune.
All right, I guess he really doesn't want this book back.
You hear.
Hold on, DM. I have to do this to you. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna deafen. I'm gonna pull a roll here. I'm gonna deafen you for a second. I'll be right back with everyone else. Guys, I have a plan. The whole plan here is that I'm not. I said this book. I'm giving him a random book that I've already read. I'm not giving him his book back. Okay, cool. Thanks. All right, welcome back. All right.
So I don't know that in character. I don't want to be a part of that.
No, none of you do know that in character, but that is my plan. So if we can make a deal, I'll give him the book back. No problem.
He starts whistling and checking the gloves, like almost like checking his nails. I'm growing tired. I think in another minute or so, if I don't get my book back, I might have to kill you.
So why don't we just give him the book back and send him on his merry way, and then he can be gone from this place, and he won't have to bother us.
Just for him to leave? I thought he was going to answer Bezoit's question.
Well, if you have questions left, absolutely go for it.
No, he said that when he gets his book back, he'll answer my question.
He said he might be inclined to. He might be better able to answer it.
We're running out of time.
3.
We got to make a decision. Are we going with my plan or no?
We've already said to give him the book back,
4.
so this is all on you.
Yeah.
All
5.
right. Emus will step up. All right.
His
I'll give
finger
you.
drapes over and starts like fingering the tip of his hilt on his weapon.
All right. So by giving you the book back, you will leave this place and not bother us or attack us in the future. That's the deal.
No, I won't be leaving.
I'm gonna narrow my eyes. Do you have an explanation as for why? Or no, I'm gonna say, fuck.
He steps forward. 28.
Are you
29.
would you be willing to leave within the next hour?
No. 31.
So
32.
so your plans are to stay down here indefinitely in this dank old cave.
No. 34. 35.
All right, so the deal I strike with you for this book is that you harm none of the villagers when they come down here to mine, and in return I will give you the book.
And his face turns to the neutral one again. You misunderstand. The negotiations are over. You give me my book or you die. 40. 41. 42. 43.
Fine, I will give you the book. Just stop counting your blasphemous counting. I'm gonna reach out my hand to shake it. Fine, I'll give you the book, but you promise not to kill us.
That I can promise, barring any unforeseen circumstances.
All right, deal.
Very well. And he reaches out and shakes your hand.
And after he shakes my hand, Emus is going to produce the book of riding ponies and hand it to him. There is the book that I was talking about.
Okay, I guess you're trying to die, dude.
I thought nothing.
They don't look anything alike.
No, that's not the point. I never said which book I'd be giving it back. I kept referencing the book, a book. I never said his book.
Pulls
He's
you
trying
in
to use his
closer.
own game against him.
I said the games were over. 53. 54. 55.
I'm out of ideas.
We already told you what we wanted. I have no desire to fight this guy right now. I'm
You
not
went back on
confident
your
in
deal.
it. But he hasn't answered.
He waves his hands. I felt cheated from the start.
That's a good enough reason? Feelings?
And what is it the reason you have to hold on to my book other than yours?
That's actually a really good point.
Emus pulls it out and hands it over.
And he bows. Thank you very much. Turns with a happy demeanor. Comes back, sits down. Starts whistling. Now that all the awkward introductions are over, shall we talk like friends? And he crosses his legs. putting his book comfortably at his side.
I would like that.
What's the rules on if I ready a spell? How long do I have before I have to cast it? Is it within a minute?
It's basically as long as you're standing there, sitting there, concentrating on doing it.
Okay, gotcha.
But you can't be doing anything else. Like you have to be focusing on.
Right. Gotcha.
Like you couldn't be walking around anywhere.
Yep. Got it.
And he sits down. Starts humming.
I would sit down on these tracks across from him and say, or I guess ask, did the fairy court happen to have dealings with the Cragmaw clan and Ezreal via
holds up a
trading
fin-
goods and weapons?
He holds up a finger. 1 second, and he turns. Ma'am, I think you're needed back at your camp. And he waves his hand, and you hear this sound, and she disappears.
What?
Told you it wasn't a good idea.
He sits down cross-legged again. And he looks up. No worries, she's unharmed. She's unharmed, I promise.
But why did you send her away?
Because you are different, he says all excitedly.
Did you care to entertain the question that I had for you before you got your book?
Mind repeating it? I was a bit preoccupied with the, and he looks over at Emus, tense negotiations.
I would like to know the name most commonly used that we would know of your queen in our language.
Oh, I know Lady Tatiana. He just said it.
He turns and nods. Queen Titania.
Titania or Tatiana?
Titania.
Thank you. And can you tell me about my god? Is there something you know that I don't?
Shakes his head.
Then why do you say that I lie?
He hasn't been to the court in some time. Do you happen to have a reason to explain his absence? Who are these people you travel with? You are not normal, and you can sense this whole demeanor now that she's gone. He's kind of dropped the jester act and is kind of addressing you in a more somber tone.
Are you willing to tell us why you're here? What your intentions are? Who you are aligned with? Anything about yourself that might put us at ease?
I am the jester of the Sealy Court. I am here specifically on my queen's orders.
It seems like you know who we are, so we've got that out of the way.
He turns and raises an eyebrow. You seem touched by divinity, though your exact reputations I do not know. And he points past Emus, pointing at Bezoit. She's a little more well known.
I have had visions, and I know that I need to find a sword, a specific sword, but I'm having difficulties locating it to free my father.
I appreciate your honesty. I suppose I'll share with you. And he stands up and walks over. Holds out a hand to shake Emus's.
He just said he would share with us.
Shake his hand. Go to shake his hand.
Uh, uh, very disgruntledly, I guess I return the shake. Not very happy about the situation that I'm in.
He shakes it up and down. Leans in, sniffs. You know you can relax. We are friends now.
The last few encounters with tricksters and unknown individuals has never ended well for any of us, so I apologize if I'm on edge, but I think I'll retain my guard for now.
Very well. And he gives you a very deep bow, like completely exposing, like, the neck spine area is back to you, like bowing very deeply as a show of trust. I will openly answer any questions you have now.
Did the Fairy Corps have dealings with the Kragmaw clan and Ezreal via trading goods and weapons?
He turns. We are not aware of anything going on with a Kragmaw clan or this Ezreal character.
Then what exactly were you sent to investigate in these mines where the Kragmaw clan part of it was located?
I was sent by Lady Titania to investigate the mist. It was a crude mishap of a spell. And it's devastating to both this world and ours.
Well, I can kind of understand our end because our people that go in don't come back out, usually. Why for you?
You think people on our end don't go missing? There is a giant rift between the Feywild and the material plane.
Oh.
Someone in the lost city, someone is responsible.
Why did you decide to flee as soon as you caught wind of us?
He turns. Ah! Well, honestly, I get away with it normally. You're kind of hard to put to sleep, he says, reaching out and patting you.
What? Am I chopped liver? I didn't fall asleep.
Yeah. That doesn't count. Well, it's not my fault, promiscuous half-breeds.
Oof.
Do you have information on the sword?
Sword?
Yes.
What sword? I've known many swords.
It's a very special sword, and I take out a drawing that I found in the library, and I show him.
Drawing that I made.
And he looks it up and down, and his face goes to like this kind of horror look.
A whore?
Horror look. And he looks up and says, according to lore, in the belly of a dragon.
So I've heard. An ancient red dragon, correct?
And he gets kind of solemn and looks down. Yes. Foul one indeed.
Do you
know
have
where I
another
can
one of
find
those
it?
masks? I really like it.
One second, Mom. Feel free to talk among yourselves. It's going to take me a minute to find. Give me 1 second.
Mm-hmm. So what is the status with him and villagers mining in here? Like he's not interested in interfering?
Well, we don't know.
Okay.
I've been treating him as a threat because there was something down here in the mines that were a threat, right? That's the whole reason we came down here. This is the first thing that we encountered. That's how I was treating them.
So, in the breeding area, you saw this guy scraping black stuff into a vial?
Yeah, but you don't know that.
Yeah, I know, but I was thinking that the entity in the breeding thing was the goblin.
Black stuff he was scraping off the walls was the goblin.
No, I was thinking that the goblin was the one scraping.
Oh,
And Jester walks up to Bezoit. How much do you know of the lore?
I just know that the sword is found in the ancient red dragon belly, and that I have to get it to free my father.
I could do you one better than that.
Any help would be appreciated.
According to my lore, that dragon is named Isagora. And she's a foul creature, known as the Red Death.
Is there anything that you can help me to defeat it?
Bite gear, resistant to fire. He gives you a thumbs up.
I actually chuckle out loud at that. But I already am resistant to fire.
Sounds like good advice for me. But we'll need to figure out some stuff before that point.
As he walks away, he says, the only thing I can give you about the ego of a red is to always placate, always amp up their self-image. Narcissistic creatures, those reds.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Do you mind us thanking you? It's a habit that we have.
He looks over. You can't see his expression through his mask. Perceptive question. And I hate it.
Oh. I guess you can consider it a bad habit of ours.
To
It's
thank
that way
him?
with everyone in this world. It's such a measly gift.
you dislike us thanking you. That seems very odd.
He waves a hand. You must not have any experience with the Feywild.
Correct. No, I do not.
Thank you is seen as a form of a gift. And
A measly
world.
repayment?
with my people, gifts hold quite the deal of weight.
Mm.
He reaches in his pocket, pulls out his book and opens it. Starts fingering along a page.
I
And
have
that's
that
where
Halbert.
we will end tonight's session.
I have that Halbert +1. I could give him as a gift to see how that works out.